My name is Roger Berg. I'm a Vice President of Research and Development for our North American research labs for DENSO International America. We're a regional division of DENSO Corporation, which is based out of Nagoya, Japan. That's a hard one. I think the industry is starting to realize that there's a groundswell of momentum behind improving active safety systems to the point where they're actually driving vehicles. One of the kind of the highlights for, at least for me and here in the United States, was to actually operate a Tesla car using autopilot. I thought, I had been on test tracks and done all kinds of safety kinds of demonstrations, but I actually got to drive one of those vehicles in autopilot mode on regular public streets, and really surprised me that I was so comfortable with it so quickly. Normally as an engineer or researcher, you're very skeptical about how these systems work, but I was really kind of or if I'd say pleased, but surprised at how well it actually worked under a number of different conditions. And I did a few test drives, so that might be one of the industry's, I know other companies have done this and showed demonstrations and even have some advanced ADAS systems available on their vehicles today. But I thought that was kind of like crossing a borderline where it actually feels like you're actually driving an automated vehicle. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of learning, so I think there will be more progress in the area of, instead of just doing like demonstrations, like going cross country or driving around Mountain View or on some test track in some remote areas on some proving grounds. There'll be a lot more learning from how people actually use automated vehicles, as opposed to just trying to develop the technology to a level that can be incorporated in demonstration. To me, that's one of the interesting parts of this whole, I call it spectrum of different automation levels, from having no automated control of the vehicle all the way to full automated control. There's a big spectrum in between, and how the driver or operator, or whatever you want to call them, interacts with the system is really intriguing. And like I mentioned on my test drives with Tesla, I thought I was going to be very skeptical about how capable the system was, but it turns out you get really quite comfortable with it in a very short period of time. So I'm interested to see how people actually react to having automated functions and features in their cars, whether it will be as the engineers expect, or will it be something different, and then we'll have to adapt how the system works. So to me, that's one of the most interesting things that I think will emerge within the next 5 years on how to do that, how to do it well. That's another tough one. I don't know, I think some areas of the world are not so receptive to having vehicles drive, or having robotics or things like that. I don't know if it's cultural or just a mistrust in technology, and other areas of the world are very progressive. So I think there'll be pockets of very swift and rapid development and learning, and other areas won't be so important. I don't know if I could tell you which areas are which yet, but I think there'll be like a mosaic of different speeds and rapid development.
Great.
Well, this one I thought was pretty cool because in most of the other events that I've attended that deal with automated drive, it's a lot about the technology. So I liked this one because there was a mix of business aspects and how automated drive or automatic cars will affect society, as well as the technology behind it. But on a third level, I saw that there was a lot to do with like verification and validation, which is kind of a thing that scares me when I see the transition from demonstration to actual on the road. So how I was interested in finding out how people and systems and companies have done this kind of thing, maybe in other industries like airlines or military robotics, and how that verification and validation process can be applied to automated drive vehicles to ensure the safety and comfort of the riders or operators or drivers, whatever you want to call them.
Great.
For
the event, and like, what are your key takeaways?
I'd say that one of the key takeaways is that I think this validation and verification, like I mentioned, is a bit more complex than I had originally imagined, and that's kind of scary or daunting. And so maybe I think after hearing some of these things, maybe I think that the progress won't be as fast as some of the hype is telling us. And so I don't want to say that there's it's going to be long and drawn out, because I think people have solutions, or at least options for solutions of how to do this quickly and rapidly. And so it will happen, but it might happen just a little bit slower than I had originally conceived.